Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 ASP.NET Core interview questions with detailed explanation, real-time project structure, and step-by-step code walkthrough. If you are preparing for interviews or working as a .NET Core developer, this video will be very useful for you. Let's get started. First, what is ASP.NET Core? ASP.NET Core is a cross-platform and high-performance framework developed by Microsoft to build modern web applications, APIs, and microservices. In .NET Core, program.cs is the first thing to execute the applications. Let me explain this step by step. First, we are creating a builder. In program.cs, first we are creating a builder. Then we are building the application. Next, we are defining the endpoint like this. This is the basic thing to define the endpoint. Finally, we are running the application. This is the basic structure of program.cs file. Next is project structure in ASP.NET Core. Now let's understand the most important concept, that is project structure in ASP.NET Core. In real-time projects, we organize code into different layers. Let me show the structure. Controllers, and then services, repositories, then models, datas, and program.cs and appsettings.json. These are all the basic project structure. Here, each folder has a specific responsibility. The first is controller. Controller handles the request. Services contains the business logic, and repositories. Repositories handle the database operations, and model that is used for represents the data. These are all the basic project structure in ASP.NET Core. Next, we are going to see about middleware. Middleware is used to handle HTTP request and response in the pipeline. This is the basic code structure of middleware. When a request comes first, request start, this line will execute. Then it moves to next middleware. After response come back, this one request end will executes. This is the basic structure of middleware. And next we are going to see about dependency injection. Dependency injections means injecting services instead of creating objects manually. Let's see about step by step in code. First, we are creating one interface. This is the interface, and we are using this interface method in that services class file. And we need to implement this one. So this is the implementation. We need to register that service here, and then we need to call that services. From controller, we need to call those things. Here, services is we can inject the services here. Here, services is injected automatically by the framework. Next, we are going to see about that service lifetimes in dependency injection. There are three types of service lifetimes available in .NET Core. One is add transient, add scope, and add singleton. In real time, add scope is mostly used for database operations, and add singleton that is used for entire application, and add transient that is used to new instance every time. For example, if you are going to create a password generated means every time we need different passwords. That is new instance every time. At that time, we can use add transient. Now next we are going to see what about what is routing. Routing maps URL to controller action. This is the basic code structure for routing. If user hits home, then index and IDS 1 means here controller is a home and action as a index and IDS 1. This is the basic things for routing. Next, we are going to see about model binding. Model binding converts HTTP request data into C# object automatically. Like this, we need to create a model. This model will convert HTTP request data into C# object automatically when we call that endpoint API. Let me show that one. Here, when Here, when client sends JSON, it is automatically mapped to the user object. That is the model binding. Next, we are going to see about repository pattern. A repository pattern used to separate database logic from business logic. This is the interface for business logic, and this is for repository. This is used to separate database logic. This improves if you are doing like this. Business logic is separate one and database logic is a separate one. Like that, if you are doing means, this improves maintainability and testability. And next, appsettings.json. Um, when we use appsettings.json, this file is used to store configurations like connection string, token, those kind of things we can able to store in the configuration. Uh, the main use of appsettings.json file is we should not hardcode values inside the code. We can hardcode those values in the appsettings.json, and we can use that object name into that code. The last is a request flow in ASP.NET Core. This is the very important in interview questions. The basic flow is a client sends the request and middleware handles that request and controller receives that request, and then controller call the services, then services calls the repository, and repository access the database and a response return back. This is the basic request flow in ASP.NET Core, and this is the complete life cycle of an ASP.NET Core applications as well. If you are preparing for .NET Core interviews, definitely these 10 questions will help you more. All right. These are all the top 10 ASP.NET Core interview questions with project structure and code explanation. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.